Audrey with Cooking Couture Atlanta. Hey y'all! It's time for another car confession. Hey! Now I feel like, I don't really feel like it for real, but oh shit. I was gonna say when I get in the car, I feel like I should be doing a car confession. The reality of it is I be in the car too much for all of that, but not really. I didn't even go out the house yesterday. I was wore out recovering from the day before. Oh, so today is Sunday. I'm tripping. I totally missed Saturday. I forgot today. I didn't forget today was Sunday, but I just realized I said something. Oh, so somebody wanted to schedule something for me for Monday, and I'm thinking it's the day after tomorrow, but it's tomorrow. Listen, I had to recoup from Friday. I had a really mentally and physically exhausting day. And I hate to admit that, you know, I like to be talking about I'm 30 and all it is, you know. They say 50 to new 30. Anyway, so I be going in. I'm really competitive. I go hard. So any challenge I take on, I'ma do it. But man, I will be going hard and then can't move for 2 days. I'm telling you, I am not getting ready to let, especially something that I really think that I should be doing at whatever physical condition I'm in. I think I'm supposed to be doing it. I'm going for it. If a friend of mine say, walk up the mountain with me, I'm going to take on the challenge. I'm going to walk up the mountain. I'm going to think of all the reasons why I can and not why I can't. And anything that why I can't, I'll deal with that later. Like can't move for 2 days. Oh my goodness. I did not leave out the house yesterday. But I did take a bath. And I slept. Boy, I got me some sleep. Much needed sleep apparently. And rest. But I guess if somebody would have called me and asked me to go somewhere, I would have went. But baby, on my own, I was not moving yesterday. So I done lost the day on my weekend. I already have a hard enough time keeping up with what days it is, because I don't see what difference it matters. I work just as hard on a Sunday as I do any other day. I just can't necessarily work with other people, because other people need to take a day off. I don't want to take a day off. I identify as a billionaire. I identify as wealthy, extremely wealthy. And with that identity, there's some things I need to be doing. Yes. Until it comes over me. And then I start identifying as being retired and wealthy. And as I identify with just regular old wealthy, I need to act and perform my mind as such, which means that I'm always thinking about something, but it's focused. It's not random thoughts. But neither here nor there. First of all, I want to talk about when did we stop verifying people. You know how do you verify people? People need to be verified, and they're verified through their people. Yeah, see, you could change how you look and how you act, and you could clean it up a little bit, and you can speak better and use better vernacular, enunciation, expanded vocabulary. But when I verify you and I look at your people, I look at your mama, I look at your family, where you come from, that verifies you. When you fly and then I look back and your mama, your sister, your brother, your grandfather, your grandpappy fly, everybody fly, you straight up fly, because that's where you come from. You don't know no different. You ain't new to it, you true to it. What I'm trying to say. If I think that you are mean may not even perceive it as mean, because then if I look at your family, everybody mean. How they talk to each other mean. The things they do mean. What I deem or classify as mean. You know what I'm saying? And usually, if you a hoe, you look back, your mama's a hoe, your grandmama was a hoe, your daddy show a hoe, and your grandpappy probably had hoish tendencies as well, even if he was the pastor of the church. Shit, that's what I'm saying. We stop verifying people. We stop saying who they people, where they come from. It tells a lot about a person. A person can stray, but then you know they got good people. That boy gonna be all right. That's the kind of stuff my grandma used to say. That boy be all right. He got good people. He come from good people, good stock. He might stray, as my grandma understood straying, because her boy strayed, one in which was my dad. But eventually he came back. It took a long time, but he came back to the fold because he was from good stock. He was raised good. He had a good foundation. He had God. He had Christianity. He had some basic principles and tenets. He's seen some things, the way my grandfather and my grandmother raised them, and how my grandmother was there. He had different expectations of what a woman was. And so eventually he would end up somewhere near my grandma or better. And it doesn't have anything to do with looks. It has more to do with spirit and energy. The whole nurturing, loving, wanting to take care of your husband, wanting to take care of your kids, and that's yourself. It's a whole energy, it's a whole spirit. And, you know, my other grandmother totally took care of all of us. Then she worked also. And she had her own business, but she made it work for her. It was in the house. It was downstairs in the basement all of our lives. We grew up on top of a beauty shop. We learned how to do business. We learned how to conduct ourselves when business was being done. We just grew up. We grew up with different thoughts and expectations. And we knew that it was nothing that we couldn't have if we didn't work for it, you know? So we learned a hell of a work ethic living over in a beauty shop, man. That changed all of our lives. And we all admit now that we have really grown up and matured. All my first cousins and my sister, we all admit, recognize, and acknowledge that our grandmother implanted something crazy in us by raising us over a beauty shop. Man. My grandma said, we always had to keep the front of the house looking nice because people were always coming to our house to get their hair done. They were going to the basement, but when they came to the front of the house, even though it was this was their side entrance, they walkway, our grass was in the middle, the walkway to the beauty shop was right here, and the walkway to the house was right there. It wasn't that far apart. But you could see it, but she wanted the whole yard to be clean. She wanted her bricks always to be clean. We painted them jokers. I know we painted at least once a year. I wouldn't be surprised if we painted twice a year. But anything that was paintable, the bricks, the sidewalks, our walkway, anything to make it look neat and professional and clean. My grandma was on that. She was on it. She didn't play. She taught us how to paint. And it was so funny. She was like, yeah, I gotta learn how to do stuff. She was right, man. Belvin Parham was hardworking and classy. Kept her a fur, honey. What is she talking about? Kept her a brand new Lincoln, or she always had a Lincoln. Yeah, Cadillac. Started off Cadillac. Then she fell in love with Lincoln. She got her a brand new one like every 2 years. My grandma didn't play, baby. Verify me, honey. I come from a long line of fly. My mama fly, and her mama before her was fly. And my poor little child, she didn't have no choice but to be fly. But I'm going to tell you something else. If you look back through all that same lineage that I just bragged on. And you'll see a long line of sarcasm also. Sharp with the mouth and the tongue. Cut your ass up. So all of the characteristics aren't necessarily positive. They just are what they are. And so to know what I'm dealing with, especially if we talking about lifelong commitments, marriage, I need to know where you come from. I need to know something about your people, honey. Yes, that's why it's so important to meet the parents. Not so they could approve. Not so they can look, judge, and critique. But so that the person that's meeting them can see what they really getting. Because you want to know what you really getting? Come to the Thanksgiving dinner. Come to the cookout. Come around this family that you want to be around or want to be connected to or want to join. Because when you marry somebody, you join their family. It's good to fall in love and get to know them and shit right off top. That's where it starts. But baby, before we seal the deal, who marries somebody and don't meet their family? Crazy. I know had I met my husband, James Slack's family, I would have been like, I can't do this. Because all the issues that he has, he got them from his daddy. And then it's perpetuated through all his brothers. It's hard to fight that off, even though he was the oldest. He was destined to be somewhat fucked up in the head, insecure and chauvinistic. He couldn't help it. That's why it's so important to verify people, see where they come from. And you don't, I mean, even if it's just on a friendship basis, you want to be so good of friends and let people into your space and your heart. And you don't know what really their makeup is. You're making a lot of judges and assumptions based on things that they have just said. Bump that. Check their family out. And sit back and listen now and be quiet for a minute. Check them out now. It's going to tell you all you need to know. It's going to tell you a whole lot. Check their family out, honey. See where these people coming from. That's why jobs want to know about the last job. Because they want to know how you conducted yourself. Who you are. Because in an interview, everybody is great. But can I get a reference that you're going to stay this way? Please, checking folks out, checking their past out. And the older you get, the more advanced in age you get, the more you better be listening and seeing. I want to hear how a man talk about his baby mama, his ex-wife, his last girlfriend. How many bitches is she? Because I'm going to be the same amount of bitches when I leave your stupid ass. Because I don't talk about my ex, man. He was a trip. I really don't talk about my most recent ex. There ain't nothing for me to say about him. I picked him. I enjoyed the time that we was together. And now we are no longer together. And, and I wish him well. And I really do. I don't have nothing to say about none of my exes. I had to double check. My ex-husband was crazy. I don't usually say that. But it was cool though. At the time, I was digging the crazy. Apparently, because I married him within 30 days. Yeah. We didn't even know each other 30 days and we got married. And listen, that don't even have nothing to do with it. Because anything that I might have had an issue with, everything that I know to be wrong with him now, baby, in them 30 days, I didn't know to the extent that I know. Oh, but I had an idea. I had a good idea. When he told me that his wife before me, and I can't say his ex because he didn't have so many wives, honey. His one before me, when he said that he took back her wedding ring, he said he took back her wedding ring. And he said she left for work, and when she came home, he had moved everything out. Well, bitch tendencies, ding, 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 warning, warning, bitch tendencies. Who does that? What man does that for real? Women do that when they have kids and stuff and they on the run and they afraid. A nigga does that when he is a bitch. Sorry. So, there was signs, but I overlooked them and I didn't make no excuses. I just overlooked it. And I did make an excuse. I tried to justify. Instead of asking the questions, I justified it in my mind with something that I could live with so that I could move on and do what my emotions was wanting me to do. I was wanting to get married. I was wanting to have a wedding. I was wanting all these things. So I wanted this. I wanted it more than I was willing to accept the truth that I knew. And it didn't take no 30 days to know that, hold up, maybe you need 30 more days. You need to ask some more questions. So it's cool. I did it. I enjoyed the fact that I did it. I enjoyed the fact that I was spontaneous and I am fun. You know, I'm fun. So I was enjoying all of that more than I was really dealing with or willing to accept the truth of the matter. Oh my goodness. Tell me now. Tell me now. I didn't beat her here. Thank you. So glad I beat her here. Okay, so let me tell you something. You got you a restaurant you open, and you saying that brunch starts at 12. If brunch starts at 12, your staff has to be at work by 10 to get ready for a 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, everything needs to be get ready to be put on the table. That's not when everybody get to work. I see them just letting people in, and this brunch supposed to start at 12 o'clock. And I see people just walking in the building. That's not good at all. At all. That is not good. And not a good sign for what's about to go down. Anyway, we didn't stop verifying people. We didn't stop lending validity to their current, their past, where they was from. We need to go back to that, honey. A whole lot of situations that you in with males and females, friends and lovers. If you had looked at, they took a real honest absorption, like really just not judging people, but just be like, okay. Because see, if nothing else, you can learn how to deal with the person you're with. From how would you deal with somebody that you didn't have an emotional connection to, that behaved or thought this way or whatever. Like, I like to know what happened with a man. I like to know what happened with a man with his ex. I want to know from him, because I just want to hear how he talk about it, what he learned from it, and how he talk about it or treat her now. It's not if I'm trying to see if it's right or wrong, if none of that. It's no judgment. It's an observation. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what type of person you are, what kind of character you have. And I get that from listening. And I'm open-minded enough to know that stuff happens. Even if somebody says, you know, I mean, I done met guys that said, oh, I used to be a hoe. I was terrible. I was disrespectful to women. But I've grown, I've learned. I like when people do that. I like when people learn and grow. I like when they accept responsibility for their actions and accept responsibility for their growth. Like, and I'm still becoming a better person. So, okay. So, depending on what type of relationship I want to have with this person, at that point, I want to know, so how do I best show you or express to you that you have slipped back into some of your old ways, when and if I ever experience that. So what I'm saying is, if one day you trip and get disrespectful, or your behavior is disrespectful, how do I express that to you? How do I share that with you where it's not offensive, where we don't get defensive, where we don't argue, but where and how do I show you that? Because if you have made it a habit for 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years of being disrespectful, or being elusive, or being non-communicative, being selfish, whatever your issue is, whenever you start doing that, because it may happen, it may pop back up. You can't do something for 30 years and then stop doing it for 10, or stop doing it for 15 and then think it's all out of you. Or you might just have a relapse, or I might do something to trigger you. How do I say, hey, hold up? Even with me, because the thing that I worked on was not being so sarcastic, because I come from a long line of sarcasm masters, the greats. That stuff hit you 2 days later. Is that? No, she didn't. Yes, she did. So when I find myself or catch myself, how do we lovingly, jokingly reel me back? Like, there you go. You threw one out there now. How many you gonna throw out there now? You fishing. Fish for a fight, an argument, an insult, like what? And so me and whoever I'm with, we come up with fun, safe, loving ways to remind each other, hey, don't fall back into that. Don't do that. We trying to be a better me, trying to be a better you. So don't do that. Let's don't hurt us like that, you know. Big Daddy. I'm talking to someone, and then we start kind of throwing sharp spears at each other. I'm like, hold on. Actually, I hadn't thrown one back. I caught a couple. And I said, hold on, we don't do this. We don't talk to each other like this. I took a deep breath. I said, let's take a deep breath. Let's hang up real quick. Let's call back. But we don't do this. This bad energy, this, what? And I'm cool. We need a break. We need to hold on. Let's go get a cold beverage, some iced tea, some lemonade. We need to calm down so that we could be cool again. Because even if we not gonna be, like if I'm not gonna even have anything to do with you, we still gonna be cool. I got a couple people they still in my world, they not in my life currently, that I love, that, you know, part of me is like, damn, I want you back. What's up? I miss you. And then the other part of me is like, I don't want nothing that don't want me. And if I can't be my very best me, or strive to be my very best me around you, then it's best. But I still feel like, you know, but either way, know that it's all good. Anybody that I don't mess with, I loved. If I loved you at any time, I don't have nothing bad to say about you. I just don't have nothing to say. And nothing speaks more volumes to me than anything specific. That's unfortunate. And so I don't have nothing bad to say. That's too much. I don't want to tarnish what we had, because if I messed with you, I don't care if it was just for a couple weeks. I meant it for them weeks, because when I didn't mean it no more, I was gone. Verify folks, honey. Verify yourself. Check yourself. And accept and acknowledge and grow. Thank you. Now, let's make it happen.